Okay, so I just wanted to go over my lessons because there's a lot about what not to do. So if I start this just to show you that I did the exercise 28, it's not deleting. Okay, this is great. Stop. Okay, now we're gonna run it. Okay, just to see examples. Here you are, the battle time, blah blah blah. Mark. I am a human. Eric. I am a dwarf. Okay, just the two characters, and then they start battling out. Okay, and it goes pretty fast. Okay, there's an improvement here. Well, there's still battling out. Okay, we're never gonna end. Okay, normally depends on the number. They finish pretty early. They still going. Okay, well, you see that the program is working. Okay, then what I wanted to observe. Let's see when it ends. Interesting. Because they're normally okay. Interesting. Normally it finishes. The game finishes very fast. Okay, so here the interesting part is that there's a big difference in terms of how it's structured. And I can't believe it's still going. As you can see here, the main part, the subroutines, very similar. Okay, actually I used a different formula, but that doesn't really matter because the formula is just of how you define health. Basically, you're playing a random game of dice, and then you're defining using random library. You're defining the dice to be between 1 and the side that you choose. This is the first subroutine, and then you can have the other subroutines. Then the big difference here, I would say, in terms of cleanness, and there's two factors: cleanness in terms of the process, and cleanness in terms of design. Okay, you'll see that there's a big difference in terms of design, and I'm using very touch heavy, very typical of me. I can't believe that this thing's still going. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm just very interested to see when the battle will finish. Normally it finishes in 3 rounds, and I can see that we're already around 10. Then the battle one. Here I define a subroutine being battle because I thought, well, this is a roll dice. They're actually not defining it this way, so it's interesting. The part where you bring up the characters and you ask for and put in the name, this is very similar. And the only thing I'll say, it's much cleaner. Their design, I think I had to learn from that because when you look at the text, it looks much heavier. Okay, now we're going up here, you see, it doesn't look clean. Okay, I clearly haven't referenced the design of a black computer screen and how that looks. But here's where the interesting part comes in terms of lessons. Okay, we've defined the subroutines. The subroutines are basically dice throwing. Then we define which the players are, what health they have, and here's where the challenge comes. Okay, which is the wild truth. The count, I don't choose a winner here. So I'm just gonna basically make a text. I think this is important when they've chosen a variable for winner. I actually haven't chosen any variable or given it any name because I'm just gonna assume that hey, once the mathematical truth happens, that one of the players has less than 0 or equal to 0 health. That's it. And but they've defined it, so that's interesting. Then obviously, as you can see, I created another subroutine which is combat. Okay, they basically taken C dice 1, C2 dice, and said, hey, if there's a difference, and in my case, I created a subroutine called combat. It's that, okay. But actually, just with the difference of the 2 dice throwing, you can create that. Then the absolute value very important because it's mathematics. Because if you have one number and you could have negative numbers and you're trying to create positive number and then subtract them. Okay, and interestingly enough, okay, health, they're applying their health plus I'm applying damage there, which is the difference between it's quite similar. The only thing is I've created another subroutine. Okay, obviously I've this is the big thing, I've printed a bunch of things here that make it a little bit cumbersome. And the count, I put the count before every battle. Here they're adding the counts, okay, or the rounds, initially even before the wild throw. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what impact because the result is exactly the same. And I would say that the interesting part about this is the how you close the game. Okay, so this is relatively similar. Mine is much heavier in text. heavier in text means more possibilities of error. So align with it, this is better. And then help minus 0, below 0. That's mine. Okay, it's below or equal. So they're right. I have they're printing here who's the winner, and then there's a break. So this is actually very similar. The only difference is I'm adding a continue, and they're adding a round plus 1. And I'm assuming that the round plus 1 is already happening. Where am I putting it? I'm putting it somewhere else. Let me control F. Okay, count. I'm not sure where am I adding it. Okay, I added as a callback. They're adding it at the rest. Where are they adding the long? Here at the end of looking at, they're looking at the outcome. So I think this is better. I think I'll have to do a micro of this, but instead of focusing on doing it, it's time there's an iteration. They're looking at the end game and saying, okay, no, this hasn't ended. This game hasn't ended. Okay, add plus 1. I'm adding plus 1, and no matter what. So I might have a mistake in terms of having added a round in addition. Okay, and they add here cleaner and an end message. I didn't add it. So to be frank, it's actually not bad. I'm more proud than I thought of my exercise. And I would say the key is obviously the design and my typing of the names for variables is really too long. I'm adding too much text. I'm getting a lot of error there, prone to error. But I would say the design is not that bad actually, and it can be optimized. For example, not creating that additional subroutine, but in the end, it's not that different. But live and learn, and sometimes you actually do a better job than you expected. So happy about that.